G'day. So I'm just out on my boat. The weather has been absolutely terrible. It's been blowing, it's been raining, it's just been impossible to get out. So I'm just out in the shed, in my boat, just doing a bit of preventative maintenance, tying some new leaders on all my reels, just giving them all a bit of a quick service and making sure everything's ready to go next time I want to go. While I'm out, I thought I'd run you through a couple of cheap, simple modifications I've made to this boat since I've had it. I've had it for probably nearly on 4 years now, and just small things I've changed have made a lot of difference to the way I fish and just helped me along and just made things easy. So sometimes you just don't know how you want to set your boat up and everything until you fish from it for a while. You can get it how you think you want it, then you fish from it for a while and you think, oh geez, it'd be handy if I had this, or geez, it'd be handy if I had that. So I'm just going to run you through a couple of cheap, simple things that I've changed in this boat that's made a bit of a difference to me and made it easier, and yeah, maybe you can go with it too. First things, regular viewers of my videos will probably have noticed by now, but I've run with some of this deck armour on the side of my boat here. That was put there. Oh, by the way, excuse my shed, it's a bit sandy and covered in rubbish. I've been using the skid steer over here to do a bit of earthworks out the front of the shed, and I'm bringing in some more gravel for my driveway. So it's all full of sand at the moment until I get that sorted out, but it's a work in progress. I've just got my mezzanine level up on the other side of the float there, you can see up the top. Again, another work in progress, but eventually I hope to store all my tackle and everything up there. So when I do that, I'll run you guys through. I'm really dreading pulling all the tackle out of my other shed because I've got stuff that's been here for 30 years. It'd be interesting to see what comes out in the end, but that's for another day. Anyway, what I was going to say is this deck wash, this deck armour I've got here on the side. This was put here predominantly for the net. A lot of the time I'm fishing on my own. I'm throwing this net up here on the side, and as just raw fiberglass, I was worried it was going to scratch, I was worried it was going to chip. So far it hasn't, and I've been lucky, but running this net up on the side here has always been an issue. I'm holding the net with one hand and I'm fishing with my right hand here while I'm holding the net here with my left hand, and it was always smacking against the side and I just didn't like the sound of it. So that was the predominant reason I put it on there. Whoops, stick this net back in here. That's another thing I'll talk about in a minute too. So that, and secondly, that was shiny, smooth fiberglass. And if you're going up the front, a lot of the times I'll be going up the front of the boat like this and standing with a foot here. This got slippery and it got wet. And also in the summertime, we jump out of the boat a lot. And once you got wet feet and you've been in the water a few times, that was very slippery and made it a bit tricky to jump in and out. The beauty of it now is I wasn't sure how I wanted to do or whether it was going to look good or not, so I just bought some cheap decking from eBay, and it cost me like $30 for a whole sheet. I cut it out. Yay, it's not the prettiest job in the world, and if I get it done professionally, it would probably look a whole lot better. But I thought what I'd do was just buy some cheap decking for a start and just try it out and see how it looks. So far, in the short time I've been using it, I'm really happy with it. So I will probably endeavour, however long this lasts, I don't know. Like I say, it was $30 off eBay, so it might last a year, it might last longer. Luckily, I'm lucky enough to be able to keep the boat in the shed, so it's out of the sun, so it'll probably last for a while, but once that sort of dies, it should peel off easy enough. And then I'll get it done professionally by someone that knows what they're doing, and probably get it cut and all done nicely. But that was a cheap addition for 30 bucks, well worth the effort. Another thing is rod holders. You can never ever have enough rod holders on your boat. I know, I've had many boats in the past and it doesn't matter. I always like to carry a whole range of rods rigged up, ready to go. And I'm taking my range of rods ready to go. Jack was taking his range of rods ready to go, and we were just running out of space. So I put a couple on the back here. These are just simple bolt-on rod holders I got from eBay. The beauty of these is, secondly, is I've put in two down the middle here, extra storage for rods. Not so much while we're fishing because they kind of get in the way here, storage, but also for the GoPros. These ones you can probably see actually taper at the bottom. So for the GoPro handle like this, they're perfect because I can slide that in and adjust it to wherever I want, and because of the taper it stays where it wants. Again, if you're not making YouTube videos, I'll get out of those lights. If you're not making YouTube videos, probably not that important to you, but for myself, it works a treat because I've always got this camera at the back and it's easy to adjust and aim it where I need it to aim, and it stays where it is. And the beauty of the other one is sometimes when Jack's on the boat and he's filming with me, same thing again. So I'm filming from this camera right here, as you can see, and Jack will have his, I can point this at my corner like that, and I'll be fishing out of my corner, and Jack will have his pointed at the other corner, and he's fishing out that corner. So it works for us. Just a simple addition. I think they were like 25 bucks each off of eBay. I've also put another one of these at the back corner here. I'll show you this here as well. This one is not for fishing, but to be fair, it's probably handy for fishing. This one was more just to give a whole new angle, just to give me a whole different angle on when I'm making my videos. So from here, as you can see, it sort of takes in a whole lot extra of the boat, takes it down the side of the boat. I can adjust this further out, take down the side of the boat to get some cool shots as I'm driving. Yeah, I haven't used it yet because I've got this one here, but there's no doubt you could use that for a rod tube if you wanted to. I'll stick that back in there, turn that off. While I'm on the subject of rod holders, I've put one more here. This was a simple little plastic one I bought. They're like $5, they're bugger all. This one keeps this rod here. It's up the side there. It's out of the way. While I'm fishing here in the cockpit, it's in no one's way. It's not going to be a problem. The tip's not going to get wrapped up when I back cast or anything like that. Perfect. So that's just another one. I can store that rigged. As you can see, it's got a vibe on there, ready to go in the side. Another one is this one here I put in here for the fly rod. Fly rods are so tricky. They don't have a butt, so you can't just stick them in a normal rod holder. You want them rigged up, you want them sitting ready to go, so if something happens, it's there and it's ready to cast out the fly rod, because they can take a bit of a while to get out and get your line out and so forth. So you want it rigged and ready to go, but because you can't put it in a usual rod holder, they are a real pain in the backside, and they are also 9 foot long, so it makes it even harder to store on a boat. This little cheap plastic thing I got off of eBay is ideal because it's adjustable. I've just put it in the side pocket there, and miraculously it runs up here, misses the bar, misses the canopy, and runs up there forward of the boat. Once more, it's out of the way. I can leave that there set out. I can roll out a heap of line and put it in the side pocket down here, and that fly rod is as simple to just grab and whoosh, and I'm straight out with a fly rod if I need it in a hurry. And meanwhile, while I'm fishing or whatever, it's there and it's out of everyone's way, and no one's going to be hooking it or catching it, and it's out of the way, but it's still ready to go. So that's another cheap little addition. Again, probably 20 bucks on eBay I bought for that little rod holder thing there. Actually, I think I got 2 of them for 25 bucks. I know you can buy expensive ones, Scotty or something I think the brand is, but they were just cheaper ones, and I bought 2 of them. So yeah, ideal for that price. Also, I'll turn these lights off before I show you. So while I'm talking about the portable rod tubes, again, I've got 2 more here, vertical ones. They're again just bolt-on ones, straight off of eBay. I've whacked up between, just bolt-on. These ones are actually bigger to fit the 30mm tube rather than the small ones here. I think they suit a 20mm tube, but they're all available on eBay, cheap enough. Yeah, so I've put some more rod holders up here on the rocket launcher. As you can see here, I've put them a lot more vertical than the other ones there. For the basic reason is, these ones here can swing around and they're not hitting anything. And this one up here can swing around and it's not hitting anything, it's not interfering. I've only squeezed 2 in because obviously I've got aerials and the light and everything up here. But 2 more rod holders is 2 more rod holders. There's 2 more rods I can carry around with me. And sometimes it makes a difference because if you watch my videos, you see I like to have a lot of stuff rigged up. A lot of different stuff. I like to have a stick bait, a bottom fishing rod, an unweighted bait rod. So I like to have a whole heap already rigged up, ready to go. And then Jack generally brings a handful with him as well, or whoever else I'm fishing with. So it just gives me 2 extra spots where we can store rods up there, out of the way while we're fishing, and it's not a problem. Another even more simple thing again, I got this door installed when we first built the boat. Other boats that have been built with this door at the back here, so this is a handy little seat where you could sit down while you're travelling. For me, I wanted it there because I wanted to lean against it. But what it has done is create this handy little space down here, which I've just put a tub and a single occy strap like that. This has become very handy just for loading up with burley and stuff, all your skanky bait, your burley, stuff you don't want leaking all over the inside of your boat. Perfect, bang, you can whack it out there. If it leaks overboard, it doesn't leak into your boat, and it's a handy place to store all your shitty manky stuff, or also for bleeding out fish. Sometimes we'll stick a fish in there and let them bleed out. Perfect spot for doing that, and everything just bleeds out overboard. It's easy, I can just grab the deck hose here, hose it straight off, sorted, no worries, just easy clean, easy fix. again, a $5 or $6 tub from Bunnings and an Ocu strap, simple as that. I've also set up this middle hatch I've got here. I've got that set up as a lifeboat tank now. So I'll show you what I did there. It was actually quite a simple task. All I've done is taken the deck hose pump here. I don't know if that's going to be too dark in there. That's the deck hose pump. So all I've done is added a hose fitting in the middle like that. So that just unplugs, the deck hose unplugs, and this one plugs in, and bang, that's my lifeboat tank. And then that little switch there controls the flow of the lifeboat tank. So that was just a real simple thing. I got that idea from Matt Watson, I think, from the Kiwi fellow that does all the sports fishing over in New Zealand. I got that idea from him on one of his videos. As soon as I saw it, I went, oh yeah, I'm gonna go with that. It saves you having to install an extra pump. So you can just use exactly the same pump and switch it over so it does live bait and deck wash. The only downside is obviously if you can't use both at the same time, but it's not that big a deal. I generally don't use the deck wash until I'm heading back in and we're doing a bit of a clean up at the end anyway. So the live bait tank works perfectly. I just put an extra drain in which drains out the side of the boat down there. This already had a drain in it, which it still has, the drain at the bottom. So all I do here is I've got a cork and the cork just blocks the drain. So I'll block that drain, and then I've installed another one at the top here. So when the live bait tank fills up to this level here, it drains out through there. And yeah, simple but easy modification. Again, cost me bugger all, a couple of hose fittings and a little bit of hose, and that was pretty much it. So simple as that. Small things like that can make a difference. I don't often use a live bait tank, but if I ever wanted to, now it's set up and it's perfect there. And we have done it in the past where we've kept herring and so forth in there as live baits. And it works just fine because it just circulates the water the whole time. The only downside is your pump's running the whole time, so it's a little bit noisy, and obviously it's going to use your battery as well at the same time. But if you're traveling or trolling or whatever else, it's no big deal. I've got 2 batteries, so I'm pretty sweet with that anyway. So yeah, simple. So here's one more thing. I believe they work. See these stickers here? Reflective tape stickers on the back of the boat. I just bought some reflective tape and cut them out in the shape of fish. We tried with the kingfish quite a few times. They'd come into the boat and then they'd disappear real quick, and with trying to think of ways to keep them around, and we figured that if we had some shiny stuff that made it look like there was a bait school going on and a bit of burley in the water, they might hang around a little bit longer. So we tried a couple of those glitter bug floats, sort of like a teaser set up on a rope out the back of the boat hanging there. But we found real quickly that that was just a pain in the backside when a kingfish is going crazy around the boat, and you've hooked it, then it's just a bit of a tangle fest and it was always getting in the way. So I just went with the next best thing, bought some reflective tape, put it on the back of the boat. The water level sort of sits halfway across that, so as the boat rocks, that flashes in and out of the sun, flash, flash, flash. Also got one on the back here and got one on the other side of the boat there. And I believe that flashing, also when you're trolling or whatever else, I believe that flashing just looks like a school of fish, flash, 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 and attracts the fish in, and if they do come in, it probably holds them there as well. It might work, it might not work. It's one of those things that's really hard to prove, but for me, I thought it was a decent idea. The sticker doesn't look too rude on the side of the boat there, it sort of blends in, and yeah, it was cheap and easy to do. And also the Fish Logics bag, see this on the back here? A lot of people put their esky, fish bag, whatever else on the deck. It's in the way, it's a pain in the ass, it's out, it's something that you're always tripping over. For me, simple, I just loop it up over the top of the rod holders here. Bang, I've got some simple aluminium clips from the hardware, clips on there, it can't fall off, it's on the pod, it's out here, it's out of everyone's way, doesn't get in the way of the outboard. This Fish Logics bag here holds ice for a good couple of days anyway, so it sits out there, out of harm's way. You can load your fish and everything in it, not a problem. Still access to the pod here if you need to come out and go for a swim, whatever else. There's still plenty of room here to access it, and the same on the other side. Just a simple idea that gets your bag or your esky, whatever you're using, out of everyone's way. It's out the back here where it's not a problem, and it's out of everyone's way. Simple as that. So that's probably about it. Oh, I've got to show you this one more thing. I always talk about it, but it is a magical piece of gear, the boomer anchor. If you fish on reef at all, get yourself one of these. the best anchor I've ever used. It's got a shear pin in it. If it gets stuck, the shear pin pops, the anchor folds, and back she comes every time. Works awesomely on reef, works awesomely on sand. Yeah, the boomer anchor has been an absolute game changer for me. I won't have a boat without one from now on. It's just been amazing. For me, who does a lot of fishing at anchor and a lot of fishing on the reef, this boomer anchor is a definite must-have. Get yourself one. So one more thing I'll show you, and this was free, but it made a real difference to me. The transducer on the back of the boat. So you can see the transducer there. Most people will run their transducers. I'm not going to adjust this now because I've got it tight. Most people will run their transducers horizontal with the bottom of the boat like this. It's great when you're going slow, it'll sound and no worries at all. But when you're going a bit faster, sometimes you'll get a bit of aeration on your transducer. There's a million different ways of setting your transducer up, but for me, I found just tilting that down, all I did was, I'm cheating, I saw it on eBay actually on a sounder tuning video. The guy just said to like push the end of it down and point it forward slightly. And you can probably, I don't know, it might be hard to see, but it's only running at a slight angle forwards of the boat rather than being horizontal with the boat. It's kind of sloped down a little bit like that. And it made a world of difference to sounding at speed. I can still pick up the bottom clearly at 25 knots with no problem. Just merely owing, I think, to the angle of the transducers kind of facing forward a bit, which keeps the water pressure on it and keeps clear water coming over it. Yes, I am aware that by facing it forward, it is sounding actually underneath the boat, not directly underneath where it is. It's probably pointing forward slightly, showing me what's directly under the boat. But I know in my head that that's the case, and I've learned to adjust for that when I'm sounding around for things. When it comes to sounding at speed, those couple of degrees of angle really did make a big difference to me. And this thing, like I said, I can sound at 25 knots and still get beautiful clear bottom. So simple tip, and it's free. All you got to do is just tilt that transducer down a little bit and try it out. See if you like it. If not, you can always put it back. It's easy, just adjust the bracket. Haven't spent any money at all. Well worth the effort. So there you go, couple of simple, easy tricks to just make your fishing better. Like I said, I've had this boat for about 4 years now, and lack of rod storage was one of the first things that popped up, so I've certainly fixed that now. I've got room for plenty of rods, and yeah, just small little things that just make a lot of difference and make your life a whole lot easier when you're fishing. If you like videos, hopefully this weather will clear. God forbid, it can't get any worse than it's been for the last 2 weeks. Stay tuned, hopefully the weather clears soon and we'll be back out into the fishing again. Thanks for watching. You.